I welcome that the Parliamentary Partnership Assembly is hopefully going to hove into view in the next few months. The aim is to create a working relationship between the UK and the European Parliament, and to look at the impact of the Trade and Cooperation Agreement, and to be able to make representations and recommendations to improve its implementation to the Partnership Council. That means the make-up of the Assembly is critical in recognising and indeed trying to tackle the differentiated impact of Brexit across the four nations of the UK. So will the government not recognise the need to consider including representatives of the devolved parliaments? We've already heard a discussion about how to get representation of not just one view from Northern Ireland, but all the views from Northern Ireland. But Scotland and Wales are also massively impacted by Brexit, and I actually welcome the speech of the member for North East Hertfordshire, at least considering how that can be done. I'm happy to give way.
Honourable lady for giving way, and I certainly feel that what should happen is an inclusive approach, but the agreement does talk about the membership of the Assembly being from this Parliament and from the European Parliament, so I think we would be talking about observer status.
Perhaps when the Leader of the House comes to add his comments at the end of the debate, he can at least explain to us what consultation has been carried out with the devolved parliaments, obviously particularly Northern Ireland, but Scotland and Wales have also been majorly impacted by Brexit, and those impacts are different depending on local economies, cultures, demographics, and it's important that all of those voices are gathered and represented. The chair of the delegation is obviously going to be a very important figure, and as is described in the papers of this, should be elected at the first meeting. It is vital this is not a government anointment, as we have seen with some of the important select committees. This is a parliamentary delegation, not an intergovernmental delegation. And a key role of the Assembly will be trying to repair the relationship with our European neighbours. A relationship, I have to say, is absolutely at rock bottom. The brinkmanship that we have seen over the last year and repeated threats to the Northern Ireland Protocol, a deal the Prime Minister was quite happy to claim as his own personal breakthrough in the run-up to the 2019 election, have undermined trust. We hear quite often that with trust, a lot of issues around the protocol could be eased. But unfortunately, with a German husband and watching German media and their view of what has happened here, trust is something that is now utterly absent, that the UK will keep its word on anything in the future. And that makes going forward through the difficult challenges of the next few years very difficult. Unfortunately, particularly if meetings are only going to be 6 monthly, what the Assembly simply can't replace is the myriad of interactions, formal and informal, between officials, between experts, between ministers, heads of state, that used to happen when the UK was a member of the EU. These were able not just to influence policy, but also often to diffuse tensions. And I would say it shouldn't be forgotten that it was the interactions on neutral ground between John Major and Albert Reynolds that was able to find a relationship and indeed a warm friendship that allowed the UK and Ireland to work together and reset the British-Irish relationship in the early 90s. And as for myself as a Scottish MP, I will obviously be speaking up about the impact of Brexit in Scotland, which I see in my own constituency and my colleagues see right across Scotland, in all of our sectors, in fishing, in farming, in the NHS, in social care, in tourism. It is important that we speak up for the majority of voters in Scotland who frankly didn't want Brexit, still don't want Brexit. And I have to say that I look forward to a time when Scotland will return to the EU as a modern, independent country in its own right.